Today is Wednesday, Parashat Vayigash. We're learning the Mussar from Chok, Leisrael. In the Mussar here it says, Besinat hinam, hatred in vain. Ktiv, it's written in the Torah, Lo tisna et achicha bilvavecha. Do not hate your brother in your heart. In other words, don't harbor ill feelings towards your brother within your heart. In other words, you hate him even though you don't harm him physically, but just that hatred in the heart is already something that is very bad. And it says here, V'ishoresh kol haraot, and it's the root of all the bad things. Re'eh ma shegarma sinat Yosef le'echav. See what the hatred that the brothers of Yosef harbored in their heart. This is what it caused all what the problems there was when they sold him as a slave. Al sinat chinam anu bagalut aroch hazeh mikol hagoliot shehu b'sibat avodah zarah. We're here now during the exile from the second temple. And the second temple was destroyed because of sinat chinam, hatred in vain. This is a very long exile compared to after the Chorban of Beit Rishon, the destruction of the first temple. The exile lasted only for 7 years, even though they had very, very grave sins that they had there, which was avodah zarah, idolatry, gilui arayot, adultery and promiscuity, shfichut damim, and murder. And that exile lasted only for 70 years, when our current exile is close to 2,000 years because of sinat chinam. וכשם שאהבת לרעך כמוך כולל קיום כל התורה. Same way that the pasuk that says ואהבת לרעך כמוך, you shall love your neighbor as yourself, which is klal gadol b'Torah. It's as if he was fulfilling the whole Torah. It's all based on ahavat ve'ahavta l'reacha kamocha. The same way that is on the positive aspect. Kach hasin'a la'hefech. That way also hatred is on the other side of the spectrum. In other words, it's the opposite. La'avor hakol Torah. A person who has hatred for his fellow Jew in his heart, as if he was transgressing the whole Torah. Like the pasuk says in Mishle, Lev horesh mahshavot aven, a heart that has bad intentions. Sanui me Hashem is a person who would be despised by Hashem. K'dichtiv sas hen hasaneh, shesh hen hasaneh, and he gives here in the book of Mishle, when he speaks about a person who harbors ill feelings in his heart. And then afterwards, there is a pasuk that says that 6 people Hashem despises, and one of them is such a person who harbors ill feelings towards others. Says here, according to Hachamim in Masechet Yoma, bad intentions is even harder than the actual transgression itself. In other words, it starts from there. It starts from that hatred that develops then into harming the other person. Bekatav Rabbi Avraham ben Ezra, Rabbi Avraham read, Nimtameh neshama teora. That kind of hatred sort of makes the neshama that is pure, makes it impure. Vehi achana ela avera k'harisha ela zeriah. And this is the beginning. And this is the preparation for avera, for transgression, for a sin. Just like plowing a field is the beginning before you plant the seeds. Even if the person doesn't have in mind to actually carry out that hatred into a harmful act, still, pogem umarchika adam mibor'o. Just that thought and those ill feelings that a person has in his heart makes a person to be distant from his Creator, from Hashem. That's why in the Torah it says, don't have your thoughts go after your heart. In other words, it starts with the thought first. And it says here in the Mussar, somebody who has ill feelings towards another and thinks about those thoughts. As if he was going into a place that is very dirty. Let's say he's wearing a white suit and goes into a very muddy place. He gets his suit all dirty. He's going to be embarrassed to go in front of a king. That's what the pasuk says. Clean yourself. Hashem, help us to purify our thoughts and not to have any ill feelings towards others, because that would be considered as if a person was wearing a very dirty suit going in front of the king. And with pure thoughts, with pure ideas, and with love actually to our fellow man, and love to our fellow Jews, which is the exact opposite. There's a lot of good that come out from it. But when there is sin'ah, it's the beginning of trouble. Baruch Adonai le'olam, amen ve'amen.